Hello students. So we will continue with the next part, that is permanent tissues. So as you know, plant tissues, they are classified as meristematic tissues and the permanent tissues. So these permanent tissues, they arise from meristematic tissues. So meristematic tissues in plants, they produce permanent tissues. So all permanent tissues, they arise or develop from meristematic tissues. Now they are called permanent tissues because they don't divide, right? So these tissues don't divide and they have a fixed shape and size. So these tissues, they don't divide and they have fixed shape and size. That's why we call them as permanent tissues. So we shall see the classification of permanent tissues. So permanent tissues, they are classified So permanent tissues, they are classified into two types. They are simple and complex permanent tissues. So simple. Now these tissues, they are called simple because these permanent tissues, they have one type of cells, or all cells are similar and they perform similar function. So simple tissues or simple permanent tissues, they have similar cells and they perform similar function. Because of this, we call them as simple permanent tissues. So these tissues, they have all similar cells and all these cells, they perform a same function. Now simple permanent tissues, they are classified into different types. So simple tissues, they are classified into three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The next we will consider the complex permanent tissues. Now why they are called complex? They are called complex because they have different types of cells. So they have different types of cells, or we can say they have dissimilar cells. The cells are not same, they have different types of cells and these cells, they perform different functions. So complex permanent tissues have different types of cells which perform different functions. Because of that, these permanent tissues are called complex permanent tissues. So simple and complex permanent tissues are exactly opposite. They are exactly opposite. So the types of complex permanent tissues, they are xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem, they are the two types of complex permanent tissues. So here the 5 types of plant tissues, They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem. So that is the summary or outline of permanent tissues. So now we shall consider one by one. So first we will deal with parenchyma. So parenchyma or parenchyma tissue is composed of a group of similar cells which are called parenchyma cells. So this is the diagram of a parenchyma tissue. So in this diagram you can see the cells. They are all parenchyma cells. They are all parenchyma cells. So a group of parenchyma cells is called parenchyma tissue. Now you can see the structure of all these cells. All cells have a same structure and they perform a same function. That's why parenchyma is classified under simple permanent tissue. Then the parts here. That is the cell wall. So that is the different parts of parenchyma tissue. So these are all parenchyma cells. What is the shape of these cells? So you can say they are oval or spherical in shape. So in the section, right, in the section of parenchyma tissue, you can see oval or spherical cells. So their shape is oval or spherical. They have a thin cell wall, right? They have a thin cell wall which is made up of cellulose. Then inside the cell, in the center of the cell, you can see it, in the center, you can see a small cavity or a bubble-like structure or a cavity which is called vacuole, right? So you find a vacuole in the center of the cell. So all plant cells have a central vacuole. Then the cytoplasm. So here cytoplasm is at the sides or at the periphery. At the periphery. Periphery means at the sides. So cytoplasm is at the periphery. In the peripheral cytoplasm, you can see the nucleus. So nucleus is located at the periphery. Then between the cells, now you can see here, there are large gaps. You can observe many large gaps between the cells. Those gaps between the cells, they are called intercellular spaces. So you find many intercellular spaces in the parenchyma tissue. Fine. Then, so that is the structure of a parenchyma tissue. So this tissue is composed of living cells. That's why parenchyma is called, it is commonly called living storage tissue. Parenchyma is commonly called living storage tissue. It is called living tissue because it has live cells or living cells. It is called storage tissue because these cells, they perform a function of storage. They store food materials, mainly carbohydrates like starch. Because of that, it is called living storage tissue. Where do you find parenchyma in plants? So, in almost all parts of the plants, you find parenchyma. So, parenchyma tissue, it may be present in the stem, in the root, in the leaves, in the flowers, in the fruits. So, all parts of plants contain parenchyma tissue. So, that is the structure of parenchyma. So, you can say this tissue is composed of parenchyma cells. All cells, they have similar structure. All cells have a thin cell wall. There is a central vacuole. Nucleus is located at the periphery. Intercellular spaces are present. Fine. Then next we shall consider another tissue, that is collenchyma. So collenchyma is the another simple permanent tissue. So the diagram of collenchyma. So I will modify this diagram. So now this is the diagram of collenchyma. Right? So we have slightly modified this diagram and we have got a new diagram, that is the diagram of collenchyma tissue. So what change we have done here? We have closed the intercellular spaces. right? So here now you don't find, there are no intercellular spaces. So these intercellular spaces, they are filled with a secondary wall material. So now it has become collenchyma tissue. So the characteristics of collenchyma tissue. So this collenchyma tissue is composed of cells. So these are all cells. So all cells here, they are collenchyma cells. All cells, they have similar shape or structure, right? So all cells in the section, they appear oval or spherical. So collenchyma cells, they may be oval or spherical in shape. Then they have a cell wall that is made up of cellulose, right? They have a cell wall which is made up of cellulose. In the center of the cell, there is a vacuole, right? So there is a vacuole in the center of the cell. Cytoplasm is towards the sides or periphery, right? Cytoplasm is at the periphery or sides. In the cytoplasm, there is a nucleus. So nucleus is located at the periphery, or you find a peripheral nucleus. Now, intercellular spaces are absent. So you don't find intercellular spaces. So you can see here, intercellular spaces are absent because of corner thickness. So the gaps or spaces, they are filled by a secondary wall material. Secondary wall material, which is called pectin. So pectin is a type of polysaccharide, a carbohydrate. So pectin is called secondary wall material. The primary wall material is cellulose. The secondary wall material is pectin. So there is deposition of pectin here. Pectin is deposited in the intercellular spaces. So intercellular spaces are absent here. The corners of the cells, they become thick, right? And that is due to pectin. So we can call them as corner thickenings, which contain pectin. So those are the characteristics of collenchyma tissue. Now where do you find this collenchyma tissue? So collenchyma tissue is mainly found in dicot plants. So in the stem, mainly in the stem and leaves of dicot plants, you find collenchyma. So we shall revise the characteristics in brief. So collenchyma tissue is composed of cells. They are called collenchyma cells. Cells are oval or spherical in shape. Then they have a cell wall which is made up of cellulose. There is a vacuole in the center of the cells. Cytoplasm is at the periphery. Peripheral cytoplasm contains a single nucleus. So each cell has a single nucleus at the periphery. Intercellular spaces are absent here. You don't find intercellular spaces. So there is a secondary wall material called pectin which is deposited at the corners. So corners are thick, right? Corners are thick because of pectin. So intercellular spaces are absent. And you find this tissue in dicot plants, mainly in the dicot stem and dicot leaves. Then the third type of simple permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. So the third type is the sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma tissue, it is composed of cells. They are called sclerenchyma cells, right? So these cells, sclerenchyma cells, they may be classified into two types. They can be classified into two types. They are fibers and sclerites. So fibers and sclerites are the two types of there are two types of sclerenchyma cells. Fine. So here we shall consider this sclerenchyma cell in the form of a fiber. So this is the diagram of a sclerenchyma cell. So sclerenchyma tissue is composed of cells. They are called sclerenchyma cells, which are classified as sclerenchyma fibers or simply fibers and sclerites. Now what is the difference here between fibers and sclerites? Fibers are elongated, means they are very long in shape. Right, they are elongated, whereas sclerites, they are oval or spherical in shape. So they are elongated, they are oval or spherical in shape. Rest all properties are same. Right. So we shall consider the characteristics of sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma, it is commonly called dead mechanical tissue. Sclerenchyma is commonly called dead mechanical tissue. It is called dead mechanical tissue. Dead because it is not living. Means at maturity, when sclerenchyma cells become mature, they die. So living protoplast is absent. Sclerenchyma cells don't have a living protoplast, means the cytoplasm nucleus absent. So living protoplast is absent. Because of that, they are called dead. Mechanical. They are called mechanical because they provide support. So sclerenchyma provides support to the different parts of plants like the root, stem and leaves, mainly in monocots. So monocot plants, they have sclerenchyma tissue which provides them support. That's why it is called mechanical tissue. So sclerenchyma is commonly called dead mechanical tissue. Now here, this sclerenchyma fiber, it is elongated, it is spindle shaped. Spindle shaped means pointed at opposite ends, broad in the center. So it is broad in the center, narrow or pointed at opposite ends. The primary wall, right? So here, the primary wall is made up of cellulose. The secondary wall, right? So the secondary wall which is present over the primary wall. It is secondary wall, and this secondary wall is composed of lignin. So lignin is the secondary wall material of sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma tissue has a secondary wall material which is called lignin, which is also a type of polysaccharide or a carbohydrate. Then you find a central cavity. So this central cavity is called lumen. So here you don't find cytoplasm and nucleus. Means living protoplast is absent. That's why it is a dead cell or a dead tissue. So that is about the characteristics of sclerenchyma. So with this we have finished the simple permanent tissues in plants. So we discussed the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, commonly called as a living storage tissue because of its storage function, it stores food materials. Collenchyma, it is called living mechanical tissue. It is called living mechanical tissue because it is having living cells which provide mechanical support to the plant. Sclerenchyma is commonly called dead mechanical tissue because the cells are dead and they provide mechanical support. Parenchyma is found everywhere in the plants. In all parts of the plant you find parenchyma. Collenchyma is commonly found in dicot plants, whereas sclerenchyma is commonly observed in monocot plants. Right? So that is about the simple permanent tissues. So we shall conclude this video and we shall continue in the next video. Thank you.